Hello everyone, I'm Genesis,
I'm Junebug.
and this is...
Let's see how this goes.
So today I think we want to talk about some assumptions that we faced being an age gap couple.
Excuse me, sorry. But yes, we would like to focus on that. And if you haven't seen how big our age gap is, we are 12 years apart.
Yes.
I could have just directed them towards that video, but most people just watch that for 2 minutes and are done.
Yeah, I mean, in case you haven't seen it yet, then you can go back and listen to us talk about being 12 years apart.
Mm-hmm. And he is the older one, if you couldn't guess.
Her beard doesn't come in quite as thick as
Nah.
mine. But we both came up with 3 assumptions that we've faced in the 3 years that we've been together.
Mm-hmm. And I'm 21, I forgot.
Yep. So the first one...
Well, I'm 21, you are.
33.
There you go.
Alright. Can I start now?
I'm going first.
Okay.
Because I had 1, 3, and 5. They're very professional.
Okay.
So there's lots of assumptions, but we're only doing 6. Because that's all our brains could handle after a big meal.
Yeah, we just...
And we didn't want to bore you.
Yeah, we just got fat.
So, 1. People assume greatly at first that the relationship won't work. Oh, I thought of another great one. But, oh well.
We can tie it. That could be number 7.
Okay, if I remember it. The people assume the relationship won't work. Which, not every age gap relationship does, but not every normal age gap,
Just normal relationships, yeah.
works. It depends on the people and the people solely.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Mm-hmm. They assume that we have to give some deets. We're not just listing them and saying bye.
Yeah, go ahead.
Goodbye.
If there's something that comes to mind.
I got the hedgehog on my sock, and it says hedgehog.
I love those socks.
People assume it won't work solely because there's an age gap. Basically, they don't really
Right.
have good reasoning because they hadn't met you before.
Right.
They just assume, oh, because he's older, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, that kind of ties in with my second one to give. So I'll touch more on this in a little bit. But for me, people assume that I only date younger women, and
I guess I'm done.
okay.
It's okay. Keep
Oh,
going.
I didn't know you had more.
It just go.
Okay. Well, apart from when I was 19,
Wait, what was it?
people assume that I only date younger women.
Oh.
I haven't dated. Well, I mean, when we started dating, you were 18, and
Mm.
when I was 18, I was dating an 18-year-old too.
Mm.
Or no, when I was 19, she was 18. But either way, you're the youngest I've dated.
But you've also had another age gap relationship.
Yeah, she was older.
Yeah. So he's been on both ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So you have extra experience with these assumptions.
A little bit. But I think that's all I wanted to touch on for that, because I'm going to hit more on the it didn't work
Oh,
thing kind of thing.
And so, I haven't had people say this to my face, thankfully, unless they did it like really slyly or really passive aggressively. But some people would assume like I'm a gold digger or just looking for the monies.
Say if that was
He's
her,
not rich.
I would say if that was
He's never been rich.
if that was your goal, then I am so sorry you failed.
We're probably never going to be rich.
No.
We are
No.
very loud in the hallway, guys. I'm sorry. That's what I realized.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't come from money. We don't have money. I don't have money.
We have money to live. Like, we're not like dirt poor. We can afford to live in this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
As stellar as it sounds in this video. But like we have enough for what we need, but he's not like having a yacht party every weekend or something.
Yeah, if there's any sort of medical emergency or something, we're gonna be in debt the rest of our lives.
That's the spirit.
Thank you. Just
But I did
says more about our healthcare system.
that wasn't why I went after him. Obviously I wouldn't know how much money he had when we first saw him.
I have
Anyway.
this much money.
We have more money than zero. And so I guess that's about it for the gold digger one. I'm not a gold digger. I don't want to be.
Say if she,
I make my own money.
say if she's a gold digger, there is no gold to be had in this mine.
We only have little pieces of bronze.
Yeah, if we're lucky. My second assumption was people assume that I'm immature, and that kind of ties into like this relationship wouldn't work because one would be more mature than the other, and I just don't. I can be goofy and silly sometimes, just as I can be serious. But for the most part, our maturity levels are almost almost dead on. That's why I feel like this relationship works so well.
Well, and I feel like in general, unless you're looking for something like, I just want to date someone who's immature and fun. I feel like you're just attracted and get along better with someone who's at the same maturity level you are.
Correct.
I think so.
I say I agree, not correct, but yeah, I definitely agree. You got to make sure not the mental match, but that you guys are.
I couldn't deal with being someone who was more immature than me because of my anxiety. I would be 10 times more stressed.
Yeah.
I needed someone who could handle this.
And for me, it's more of since I can be goofy just as much as I can be serious. I needed somebody that can like follow along when I get on when I can be just all over the place, goofy and silly, and I think she handles that pretty well.
Jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm good.
So this kind of ties right along into it, that people assume that this one isn't very common. People might assume I have an old soul, or I think I'm more mature, or I just think I'm so wise. I don't necessarily think I am, but I do have an old soul. Like most people in my family think that. And again, the maturity thing. I think we fall somewhere in the middle of our ages.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
Because I feel like once you hit a certain point in your life, that's who you are, maturity-wise.
I mean, I always feel like there's room for personal growth, but I feel like once you settle, if you don't have the wherewithal that you
Sorry, my nose is
yeah,
itchy.
mine too. That you just won't grow, I guess. But as long as you guys are both there, I feel like.
Well, I meant like some people who are just super immature, like throughout their life, never lose that on some level, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I can get more with
They'll
that.
grow more into, like, they'll be immature at like 30. They won't say at like 12. That's not what I'm saying.
I would like to.
Good time, Mike.
Oh my god. I would like to go on the record and say that fart jokes will always be funny no matter how old you get.
I don't like them. But I was taught that you can't say fart.
Well,
So that's why.
okay, breaking wind then, passing gas.
Toot. Which I hate that word.
Okay.
With the old soul. And I think my family really gets that now because my parents kind of refuse to see it.
Yeah.
That I'm such like an old lady on the inside. Like, I've never had a partying phase. I have no urge to. I don't regret never having any of that typical college experience.
Yeah. She doesn't drink alcohol at all, and
I'll take a sip and say I hate it, but
she doesn't have any desire or urge to get like drunk or like even buzzed. Really, you find where you're at.
Well, and then also my first celebrity crush was Paul Newman, and people my age are like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Well, he died of old age in his 80s, like a decade ago. So if that's a clue for you, his young hot pictures are in black and white."
There you go.
So, no surprise that I ended up with an older guy.
Yeah, and I also have a bit of an old soul as well. Like I'm super slow to keeping up with tech, and like I prefer to do things old-fashioned way. Like one of my favorite possessions that I have is from my grandma, on my dad's side. She had this old rotary phone that it still works. I want to take it with us throughout our life, and it was one of my favorite things ever when she would babysit me and my sister. I got to
Play with it.
yeah, I would find an excuse to call my friend who lived in the same city just so I could use that phone. I love that phone. Love playing with her typewriter too. Like she had all these older things from when she was growing up, and I mean, I'm naturally attracted to that. Like that stuff seems so interesting to me, and I really enjoy using it.
Yeah, we're both introverted people.
That also helps. You good?
Well, extroverted people can also be old souls.
Yeah. People also assume that I have been previously married or that I have children. I have neither. I've
No.
never been married. Not that you would see a ring on this finger. I don't know why I did
Like
that.
a
Yeah.
tan line from the
Yeah,
other one.
yeah. And I do not have any children.
No. We have fur children.
Yeah, we got the 2 rabbits and the 2 hedgehogs, but no human children anyway.
No. I would mainly get asked that about him. They're like, so, does he have an ex-wife? Like, how many kids do he have? I'm like, why are you asking how many? He has none.
Yeah, because she met me when I was 30. At 30 years old, most men I feel like have an ex-wife or they have.
You don't have to.
No, they have kids, but yeah, I have neither, none.
But
of
that
the above.
also worked out, because how much would I have in common with someone who was divorced and had a couple children
Yeah.
and like worked at a law firm? Like, it works better.
I think it also
the
helps that
battery
I.
needs to be charged.
Yes, it helps that I don't work at a law firm either.
Yes. Well, I'd be more accused of being a gold digger then.
Yeah.
I forgot the 7th one.
Way to go. Nobody likes this video. It's gonna be your fault because you can't think of the 7th one.
We can skip over this part.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I had it. I dealt with the first one. Ah, I remember. Okay. So extra, the bonus one is that for maybe you, that people assumed it was a phase.
Mm.
That like I had this phase of I wanted the ultimate of the men.
And I may be one of those things.
Mature. No, man. You're it's a man. You're a man.
Last I checked, I don't know. It's been a while.
But yeah, a lot of people assumed it was a phase that I just wanted to like see older men.
Oh yeah.
Like just go from older men to older men, getting all the monies. But that's
And
no,
then
it was not a phase.
and then I trapped her.
The 3 years with one guy is usually not a phase with promise to wed.
But no, hope not. Hope I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm not. But did people ever assume like, is this a phase? Like,
I feel like that's more of a midlife crisis kind
Yeah.
of move from a man, and I'm not at my midlife or am I at a
Hopefully.
crisis either. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully I'll live to be more than 65.
You better.
See what happens.
Is so the phase, and I think people got scared in my family. They're like, it's not over yet. It's been a month.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, most of them weren't a fan of me from the start, so they were really, really banking on us not lasting very long.
Well, and the guy I liked before the guy was also older. But they just didn't seem to catch on. Again, Paul Newman, everyone. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We might have another part 2 someday.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, thank you for watching.
Bye,
See you
guys.
next time.